Hi folks, welcome to The Break Key. My name's Henry, and today we're going to look at some run length encoding. Now the entire purpose of this is to get some graphic stuff going. I'm not ready for graphics in the fourth ROM yet, but I can at least play around with it in an extended color basic and see what we can get. And there's also some processes that I'm going to use that will help us get those graphics from a modern PC into, well, at least a CoCo emulator, and from there we can probably take it to, real hardware. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the process as we go from vectors to bitmaps to the CoCo via run length encoding right here on the Break Key. So we'll start in Inkscape, and we'll start with a graphic I got from FreePic. I should be able to just drag this over and drop it in. Let's see, it's asked me if I can determine that. I'll find that, that's fine. And we'll work with that, that's perfectly fine. And in Inkscape, this brings it in as a second page. No big deal, we'll just get rid of the page that's not being used. And here are our assets. Now, anytime you're using Inkscape, if you're in the free software arena, then dragging an EPS or an AI file into Inkscape, there's some processing you have to do to make things work. For instance, if we look at our layers and objects, we'll see that this is in a group. It's got a whole bunch of stuff in there, and there are things that I'm just going to want to get rid of if I, as far as getting everything ungrouped, unclipped, and all that nice stuff. So let's see, if I ungroup that takes care of all those things. And really, let me see about putting together our basic design. Well, of course, I want to start with the sleigh. So let me get the sleigh. Group all that together, move it over here, ungroup it. We'll get rid of the items that we don't need. And I want a Christmas gift in there. And let's make this just a little bit smaller. And then we'll duplicate that, make it just a little bit bigger. We'll give it a little bit of a rotation to make it look pretty, and we'll move that down to the bottom. There we are. And then let's put the Christmas tree in here. Now this Christmas tree is a little bit busy. I'm not sure how well that's going to show up. And I don't know how much of this I'm actually going to need. Now these I like, and I want to see what we can do about keeping those intact. I don't think I'm going to need that, but we'll see. And I can see which paths I want to keep and which I don't. So then I can take absolutely everything else and I can get rid of it. So this is what I'm going to want to put on the CoCo screen. So the next trick is to clean up the paths. So I'll take everything and just start ungrouping it all. And over here on layers, on the paths and whatnot, I want to check and make sure that all these paths are lacking in clips, and they don't appear to have any clips set. They are set in the root, and this layer, I can get rid of that. I don't need that right now. Everything is a path. Lovely. That's got to fill. That's got to fill. And some of this is, let's see, that has a fill. It does not have a stroke, it looks like. We're fine there. Right, so with that, I want to start getting some of this prepped for moving over into GIMP. I want to make the paths as consolidated as possible. That is a single path. It appears to be, yep, okay. I want to combine these, not that, and not that, okay. Those. So we will do a union on those. We should be able to do a union and everything should be fine. Lovely. That path can stay by itself. That path can stay by itself. I want This is fine by itself. This, and these two. Let's see what happens when I combine, and I union those two. That looks fine, good. But it also extends beyond that, which is going to cause me some problems because this is going to be on top. Let me move this to the top. Okay, that's what I thought. Or is that doesn't look too bad, actually. I kind of like that. I'll keep that. I'll put that and put that, and let's union those. Lovely. That's a path by itself. Okay, so that's 3 paths by themselves. That's a path, and I can do the same thing for this. We'll union that, move it to the top. Union those. Lovely. And for the rest of these, I will make those invisible for a moment so I can see what's going on over here. That's not the one I want to look at. I want to look. All right, so that is not fully obscured. I will need those. Yeah, we'll take those. So let me select all the yellows. Everything yellow, we'll make that its own path. Everything blue, we'll make that its own path. Everything red, we'll make that its own path. No, these highlights are not likely to be valid because that's going to require 2 pixels across rather than 1 pixel across. Semigraphics 24 is like, or Semigraphics 12 is similar to using the standard Semigraphics 4 in that you've got 2 colors per character cell that you can work with, and a character cell in this particular case is going to be 2 pixels across. Those colors are whatever color you want of the 8 color palette and black. Good, so that's set up and these are ready. These are ready to be transmogrified into the appropriate size. So I want to make sure that I've got everything set to pixels. So let me bring up my page descriptor. I want my page descriptor to be in pixels. I want there to be 1 pixel per user unit, which means that just got ridiculously huge. And I want my width to be, we're doing Semigraphics 12, so that is going to be 32 times 2. Which is 64. And that's going to be 192 divided by 2, which is going to be 96. There that is. Very good. Now with that, I'll close that. And now I need to go find where the heck these things... Oh, they all got tiny. All right, so I'll just... they all got very tiny. I'll just select everything. That's a Control A. And I will set the X and Y positions to 0. And with that unlocked, I want my, let's see, let me lock that up for a width of 64. And that comes to 66. So fix this up so that I get I will go with 64 height because that way I get the whole thing. Lovely. Now what I want to do with this set, my width set, I'll unlock that, bring this to 96. And then go to my alignment. That should move selection as a group, and we'll set that centered on the page. Beautiful. Perfect. This looks weird. Trust me, it'll look fine later. So now I want to save out my pieces. That should have everything. We should be done in Inkscape at this point. Let's move now to GIMP. So in GIMP, what I want to do is set up our framework. And I want to see the framework in such a way that it looks like what I'm used to seeing. Obviously, we need a new image. We've already determined that we have a resolution of 64 by 96 pixels. Let's see what those advanced options let me do. X resolution, blah, 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 blah. That's fine. Y resolution is, we'll change these out. So my X resolution, instead of it being 300 pixels per inch, that's gonna look kind of tiny. That's fine. I'm not worried about that. In this particular case, 6496. Let's see what that looks like. 64, 300, divide. 300, enter, 64, divide. It's 4.678, 96. All right, so that's going to be 450 pixels per inch right there. And I'm going to bring those down quite a bit. So I will change that from 300 pixels per inch. Ah, no, that's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. I can hit OK with that. And I now have a blank black background that is rectangular. I don't want it to be rectangular. I want it to look square. Now notice that we set our DPI so that it matched our aspect ratio. I could have gone with 64 by 96 and everything would have been fine, but it matches our aspect ratio. View, I go to view and I want to not view it dot for dot. Bang. Now I have a nice square environment. There's a couple other things that I want to do for setup. I want a palette put together that has the colors I'm going to be using. So I will put a few other things in here. Good. I'm done over there. I should have everything set up that I need to have set up here. I will place on my foreground color. I will now move to palettes. I have this palette set. This is beautiful. And I should be able to run from there. Now, I will leave that off to the side for now because I want more space over here though. Let's see. Yeah, I'll leave that off to the side. So for my next trick, I want to grab some SVGs. So we will start with that. I think I can do an import here. Can I do an import? I'm not sure. So looking at this, the first one that I want to bring in is the sleigh runner. So let's see what happens when I import that. Oh, lovely. It does it just absolutely perfectly. Beautiful. Oh, that's not what I want, because I don't want any type of anti-aliasing. So we'll bring that in. I will bring this in as a path. Lovely. Now, if I go and look at path, oh. Can I turn off anti-aliasing? It's in the context menu. All right, that helps. Let's go back over to paths. There we are. And I want to import. Let's see if it'll let me do that. There we are, import path. And I don't want the recently used. Let's go over to that. Let's see about the Christmas scene. And we'll bring in the sleigh runner.svg. That path can go away. I'll pull you out to the side. That path can go away. That path can go away. This path can become a selection. And then I can bucket fill that using a different foreground color, which should be, I want that to be, I think white will work for that. Yeah, we'll use white. That's aliasing. I don't want any anti-aliasing. Let's see. I'm still doing anti-aliasings. So let me turn those back on for the other tools so I don't lose that later, because I will have times when I'm going to want that. So select sharpen does that for me. Lovely. Okay. That seems to work. And that's fine. So now I'm going to turn picture in picture off and just bring the rest of it in. Doing exactly that. One more time just to make sure I know what I'm doing here. We'll create a new layer. And this is going to be sleigh body. Sleigh body, I want to grab a new path and import that. We're going to grab sleighbody.svg. That gives me some extra paths that I want to get rid of. So that can go away, that can go away. And we've got that path right there. If I do a path to selection, let's see if there's a button here for that. Oh, nice. And then select. Does sharpen have a hotkey? It does not. That sucks. But if I do an alt select, there we go. Alt Alt S, and then, yeah, I can do that. That's good. That's fine. And now I want to fill that. We'll bucket fill. Grab the bucket. Nope, not that color. I want that color. And put that in there. Lovely. This is starting to come together. I'm going to turn PIP off, and we're going to fast forward through the rest of this. Right, a couple things that need to be done here. The first is to make sure that we don't have colors colliding within a character cell, that we only have two colors within any given character cell, one of which is black. So I will activate the grid. Image configure grid, that's what I want to do first. I want to do image configure grid, and we need to set up our spacing. Now, we have 2 pixels per character cell, and we have, want to unlock that, we have 6 pixels vertically per character cell. We're working with SG12, which means we've got 6, and then I can hit OK with that. Next, I want to view, turn on the grid. And I don't like that, so I will use a different color. Not as distracting as it otherwise would be. All right, so that's fine. I'm good with this. I think that works. I think that's good. Awesome. Coffee? Slurpage? Now, where do I want to put the text? Good. That looks lovely. I will place the text there. Now, the other thing I'm going to want in here is going to be some blinking stars. And I want to put those right over the black. So let me turn my grid back on. Looks good. I like it. Text can go here. This can go there. That's perfectly fine. Everything's great. Now, there are a few things that I want to do to make this work. I want the stars to be separate from the sleigh bits, and I want the text to be separate from the sleigh bits, and I want the stars and the text separate. So I want the text and the stars and the full sleigh to be separate entities entirely. So let me save this real quick, and we will put that into, where did desktop, Christmas scene. This has got to be .xcf. We're now in an XCF. And let me hide the stars and hide the text. And let me take a break. So the question is, how do we get this out of GIMP and into something else? Fun fact, GIMP exports many different things that you wouldn't necessarily think of. Not sure if Photoshop does this, but GIMP does. So if I go to File and I go to, let's see, where is it? Export as. I can open this up and select the file type directly. And oh, looky what we've got here. We have a C source code header. We also have C source code. So I'll do it as a C source code header. Why not? There we are. And if we look at our left side, we see that the sleigh.h exists. So for right now, I'm going to make that go away, and we will open up this entire directory in VS Code. And here we have our header data. Oh, I forgot to do something. I forgot to do something very important. I can tell I took a break. Let's bring this back over here for a moment, because what we need to do now is index this. So let me look at my okay, those are my palettes. That's my palette editor. I want to colors. No, it's an image. It's going to be image because it's image mode. There it is, mode. And this will be indexed. We will develop the index, and we will use the custom palette. We will use, where did you go? CoCo color set 1 with 12 items in it. Color dithering is none. Remove unused and duplicate colors from the color map, which is fine. Let's see, and that should do the trick. We'll convert that. Now I want to make sure that the indexing is proper. So we go to Windows, recently closed docs. No, I want to look at dockable dialogues. I think color map is what I want. Yes, this is exactly what I want. And this is all jacked up as far as orders are concerned. Yep. All right, so that looks all good. Should be able to do. That's not what I wanted to have happen. I don't want you to... Let's do this. Let's save it. Let's quit. And let's bring it back up again. Appears to be fine. We'll view. We will turn off dot for dot. Okay. Excellent. So it appears to be perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Lovely. Everything looks correct. Good. Okay, that was irritating. But the reboot fixed it. All right. So now that we've got this indexed file, export as, and we're going to export as slay.h. We're going to replace it. And then here we are, and here's slay.h. Header data color map, which we don't need. And then here's our header data. Now this is our indexing data, which is exactly what we're going to need. Everything is set up effectively correctly. The next thing I want to do is and we'll start doing some translation. We've got a couple of goals here. The first goal is to translate this information here, and I'll make this go away and just make everything a little bit bigger, to the bytes that we're going to be using on the CoCo itself. That's not too terribly difficult to do. And the next thing we're doing after that is run length encoding. Again, that also is not that terribly difficult to do. There are some minor gotchas. Rather than send this directly to the CoCo, we'll just make a basic program out of it, and we'll emit basic program code. Oh, we do need the length of the pixel data itself, because since this is assigned in this manner, we don't have a definite knowledge of how big it is, so we need to figure that out. Here's my thought. Since all we're doing here is pixels, if we look at this and I pull that up, since all we're doing here is pixels that have one of 9 possible colors, and we know that 80 is going to be black, and then any 8 whatever is going to be white, 81 is going to be whatever those colors are. We know that if we have a byte value that has a 0 in the first bit, that it is not a graphics byte. Therefore, I can say we can have up to 127 values, 0 through 127, which we can use, or 128 values, just to say, between 0 and 127, that we can use to indicate the length of the run. A run length of 0 is, well, nonsensical, so should we need to extend this, we can save the 0 value as being an escape value. And here we run into that mode issue that we were looking at all over here, where we couldn't have 2 colors right next to each other if those 2 colors were within the same cell. Here I'm going to find what I'll call the pixel mask. And this pixel mask is going to be a 1 nibble value. Effectively, there are 2 bits that I need. Is it on the right side, and is it on the left side? The reason there's a full nibble is because the upper half of the Semigraphics character in a character cell will use bits 2 and 3, whereas the lower half will use bits 1 and 2. So if I use both of those, then I should be fine in whatever the case, and we'll just set up a mask for that. So this is where some tricks with the way that C looks at things works. And this may look a little esoteric. If the first pixel in the cell is active, what we've just done here is we've taken, let's say this first bit, or this, oh, actually, let's see, do I have another part? Do I have one? Here we go. Let's look at these right here. This has a non-zero value for that header data information, or for that pixel data information. And with it having a non-zero value, if I unary negate that non-zero value, it is coerced to a 0. If I then unary negate it again, C will take a 0 value, and when given a unary negate, will make it a 1. This coerces the value to be 0 or non-zero, 0 or 1, and in C, it's a it's an integral type. In the case of the PMAS being 0, well, we don't have to do anything else. If it's non-zero, so like say over here, or wait, is that right? Or over, like, there we go. Over here or wherever else you might run into it, then we need to do some manipulation. Again, any non-zero integral value in C evaluates to true. We will take precedence from, in case we made an error and we've got like more than one color value on in the same cell, we will take precedence from the first cell. And then, because this is going to be 1 through 8, I only want to add a 0 through 7. I need to bit shift that over a full nibble. Now we've got values 0 through 7, and those will be bit shifted over a nibble, ORed with the original, or ORed with the 0x80 cell value. There we go. So as we move forward, we're going to be determining the length of the run. How long of a run have we got? How many of the same cell values do we have? Now, initially, our cell value is 0, and do I have a previous cell? I don't have a previous cell value in there. I need to know what the previous cell value is going to be. By setting this to 0, and by setting this to 0, we immediately have a way that we can compare to ensure that we have a starting condition. The very first time we hit this, the 0th run, there will be a value there, and if we dump that, if we throw that out into the output file, we'll wind up with an extraneous 0 in there. Run count, we reset that to being 1, and we set the previous cell to the current cell, and we should be able to get the run going again. So with all that said, we need our dump run function. And we only need to omit the run count if the run count is greater than 1. So now we've done all of this. We've finished this up, but we haven't dumped the final run once we get done with the while loop. We're going to need to do that. And we only want to do that if the run count is actually greater than 1. There we go. That should work. So let's save it. So this prints directly to the standard out, so I should see something normal. And it doesn't appear to be happy. Something went awry. You know what I think I did? I forgot to increment the beat pause there. And I also forgot about the full run. Now let's try. Good. And this is definitely not right. Oh, I'm missing a comma. Okay. Now, that looks so much better. This will be what we actually use to display it. This is the data that we need for it. I should only need one graphics page for this. Or, I'm sorry, 2 graphics pages. Extended color basic, when you do the P modes, it automatically starts at 4. Yes, we're doing Semigraphics, and I'm saying P mode, and I'm saying basic. I'll put a link in the description to the CoCo Tech episodes that talk about this, and you'll understand, and you'll better understand what's going on. But there are some tricks here that work really, really well. Okay, so P mode 1 will give me the graphics information that I need. It gives me the 3K worth, and I need 3K. So I need the start address. And according to, let's do this. According to, let's see, extended color basic unraveled, we'll use this one. There are some extended basic variables that deal with the location of where graphics is. So we've got end graphics, which is the end of the current graphics page. We got begin graphics, which is the start of the current graphics page. And by setting up the P mode the way we did, we've got 3K set, and it will tell me where the beginning and end is. We've already got that information. So that's going to be at 00BA, and that's going to be at 00B7. And of course, that is a 2-byte value. And that's going to give me, let me look at this real quick. $1A00. Now, obviously, I'm going to have to go 1 back from that, so we'll subtract 1. Now, the next thing, oh, shoot. I need a way to mark this as being done, so we're going to start by assuming that we get a length byte. If it is not a length byte, run back there, go back and read again. Here is where the fun begins. We start with the screen 10. Now I'll put this on its own line so we can see. So set the SAM up for Semigraphics 12. Now, by all rights, I should already have the SAM set up for Semigraphics 12 because the VD. No, that's true. It's already set up for Semigraphics 12. I don't even have to worry about that. So all I need to do here with the data on, we can go ahead and display it. To get to Semigraphics 12, because we've already got the SAM set up with that, Alpha Semigraphics, we want that set to 0. GM2, GM1, and GM0, we want those all set to 0. Internal gets set to 0. So by ANDing this with 15, we maintain color set select, we maintain all the rest of this, and we automatically clear that out. So AND it with 15. Poke it right back in, Bob's your uncle. Now we've got the VDG set for Semigraphics mode. So with everything, well, that needs that to have a line number. And then at the end, to make sure that we can actually see this, that should take care of it. So, do a hard restart. Wonderful thing about XROAR, you can load ASCII.bas files as if they are tapes. So let's see, I believe that's going to be under View. Nope, I want Hardware, Tool, File. There we go, cassette tapes, awesome. I want to add one in, so let's insert. I want to go to Desktop. I want to go to the Christmas scene. And I want to load, where are you? I think it's, yep, it's display.bas. Yep. Oh, because it's only showing me 8 letters. See what we got? Good. And it's loading the data. So let's see what we wind up with. This is real time, by the way. Oh, that didn't work. But that looks like an off by one error to me. There we go. That'll fix it. There we go. It worked. All right, lovely. So the run length encoding worked. That was a simple error. The next trick will be to put in the text and the stars. I'm going to do this manually rather than go through the rest of it. And we'll use a trick that was used on CoCo Tech, which is using get buffers. Here's the fun thing about the get put buffers. We only need as many bytes as we have graphics data. Each element in an array, at least a numerical array, is a floating point value. And a floating point value in Extended Color Basic or Color Basic is 5 bytes. So if I dimension an array of 0, then I get 5 bytes. Because believe it or not, Color Basic is 0 indexed. It just, when you do a dimension, it will dimension all the way up to and including. So you can use either 0 index or 1 index. If you 1 index, you wind up losing a byte, that's all. Or losing 5 bytes of memory, that's all. Function call error 910. What the heck happened there? I bet you I've got a go-to problem. Yep, skipped right over it, so I want that to stay at 100. Well, I know what I did wrong. Let me fix that. Something has gone terribly awry. Oh no, I know exactly what went awry. I've got to regenerate the data on it. Overall, not bad. If I wanted to speed that up, oh, I got my math all screwed up. And now it works. There's an evaluation order issue here. That's very, very strange. Okay. I don't know, but I think I might have unearthed some kind of bug. That's weird. Okay, so. I don't know why this is going on. And I'm going to give up on this little bit because it doesn't make sense to me. And I would like to see if maybe Curtis or Nick, if you can elucidate why this is happening. Well, it's odd. Let's go to the stars. Let's make the stars sparkle. All right, for the stars, let me see if I have put those in. Yep. So each of these will have the same bit pattern. The trick with these bit patterns is that there are 5 sequences that I'll be using. And then the blank. So those are my, oh, that doesn't go there. That goes there. Those are my pattern. Variants for the text, 5 variants for the stars. Minimum common denominator is 10. Not so sure about using multi-dimensional arrays, so it gets all worked out like that. Hopefully that works. Let's try it and see what breaks. One of those didn't work according to plan. I think I see what I did though. Oh yeah, definitely made that mistake. So 216 plus 24. That's what we call spitting garbage right there. Yeah. I didn't fix all of them. There we go. Happy Christmas, everyone. Hey, that was great. We started with some vector clip art, put together a little scene, threw that into GIMP in such a way that we were able to machinate it into a format that could be translated into something that the color computer can understand through the process of run length encoding, decoding the run length encoded stuff on the color computer, and using get and put along with some P mode tricks and a few other things to get Semigraphics 12 operating under BASIC using mostly normal extended color BASIC commands. And here in future, some of this will be quite useful in the 4th ROM. That'll be fun. I want sprites. So, happy Christmas, one and all. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas holiday, and we'll see you again next year, right here on The Break Key. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe.